Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Real Deal Talk. Epic 61 fighter interviews, round one. We have our second fighter of the day in the house, Mr. Alan Acre, a.k.a. Dr. Evil. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're starting right out with this nickname. When I saw it on the sheet that Dr. Evil was coming into the show, into the studio, I was very excited. Because a lot of these fighters they don't have nicknames, and it bothers me. Like, what's wrong with these guys? Are they fighters or not? Let's get a nickname here. So when I saw Dr. Evil, all right, so talk to me. Where did that come from?
I got that one like almost right away. I was a white belt, and I was in residency for becoming a doctor.
You were?
Yeah, I didn't have a cat that was like bald and plans to take over the world. I literally, like, this brown belt goes, "You're Dr. Evil," and I was like, "Yes, sir. Okay." And then from that point on, I was Dr. Evil.
I love it.
So yeah, they were great to me. They taught me a lot, and it was like the first school that I really, first jiu-jitsu school that I really connected to.
And which school was it?
That was Harlingen Jiu-Jitsu Club out in Harlingen, Texas.
In Texas, and that's where you're from?
No, that's where I did the residency. Yeah. I'm actually from Tipton, Oklahoma. And all over the place. My parents were in the military. I was in the military, so.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
What, Marine, Navy?
I was in the Army.
Army. Okay.
I know you were in the Navy.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that on one of the casts.
Nice. Yeah. Yes. I interviewed a Green Beret recently.
Oh, okay.
Eric Lawrence, one of my best podcasts ever, because all we did was spit fire on health and wellness for 2 hours, and the people just freaking ate it up. And I heard, like, Randy, my big claim to fame is Randy Couture was sharing the podcast.
Oh.
Right, and I interviewed Dean Lister recently as well. So appreciate your service, bro. Okay, so let's break it down here, because I never interviewed you before. Most of the fighters I'm interviewing, I've interviewed before, so we break their backstory a little bit. So let's talk about. So you did your residency. Are you a current doctor?
I'm a clinical psychologist.
No way! Incredible. I knew that you had some higher level of intelligence just by the way you talked for the first, like, literally 30 seconds before the interview. I was like, okay, this guy's got something here. So let's go back. When did you start? How old are you now?
I'm 45.
45? Look at this guy. Dude, you look like $1 million, bro.
Thanks.
All right, so when did you start fighting?
Well, I had a pancration fight last weekend. It was supposed to be the current opponent.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have our MMA fight with him last weekend, and then he hurt his knee and had to pull out. So they said, all right, here, watch this video. This guy can take the fight. His opponent pulled out too. And he looked like he was like 40. He had a beard and
had a beard.
Yeah, and looked kind of older. And from the video, not much happened. He like takes the guy down pretty early, and they tussle around a little bit, and he submits him. And I was like, okay, I can do this,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and fight that guy. And come to find out, he's 19. And
19?
Not just any 19-year-old. He's a 2-time national champion. That's who they give me. And they don't tell me this. I ask how old he is. They kind of like, Harvey's like, oh, well, oh, look over there. There's a squirrel. Oh, look over here. There's like, oh, maybe there's like a sponsor or something. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Harvey, how old is this guy? And he won't answer. And I'm like, okay. And next thing you know, like, lights are going and music's playing.
What?
It's loud and they're like,
when was this?
This is the night of, so like not even 20 hours before the fight, I'm finding out that maybe I'm going to fight this guy. And then it's confirmed, that morning.
Yeah.
Everybody's there. I see him for the first time, and I'm like, oh, he looks older. He's not. He's not even close. He's 26 years younger than me. The age gap is
he's less than half your age.
Yeah, he's like, our age gap is older than he is in life. So, and they don't tell me this, and they won't tell me it. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, like, right as we're about to go on, they go, oh, by the way, this is going to be pancration because he's there's an age gap. And I was like, oh yeah, tell me more. And he's like, oh well, squirrel, sponsor. And I'm like, dude, tell me how fucking old he is, And it's like, And he just won't tell me. And then after I find all this information out,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, so how did it go?
Well, like any 45-year-old would go into a 19-year-old national championship fight. You know,
My gosh, bro.
we threw some punches. We swung back and forth. He picked me up in the air. Probably higher I'd ever been in my life. I was like, oh wow, this is quite a view.
The weather's nice up here.
Yeah, it's really great. And then he started to slam me, but I managed to hook his leg, and we just kind of I managed to get on top, and then I was like punching him, and we were going back and forth. And then round 2, it was kind of the same thing. We were throwing some strikes. I caught his leg. I couldn't take him down because he was also what they didn't tell me is that he was a college wrestler.
Oh gosh.
Currently,
Currently,
current college.
in his
wrestler.
prime.
It's like whatever, no big deal. You don't need that information. You know? Why would you? You're 45.
Yeah. You've been around the block.
Yeah,
You can fight anybody.
you should know things.
Yes.
So,
Oh my! How long ago was that fight?
last weekend.
Last weekend.
Last weekend, yeah. So
And you're on this card for Epic?
yeah, well, it was pancreation, so I didn't take any head damage. It was all just
What's
pancreation is
This is good. This is-
MMA without head strikes. So everything you can do except punching in the head and kicking in the head. That's it. So
How do you
everything
not
else
do that
goes.
though, bro?
Well, it didn't work because we were punching each other in the head and kneeing each other in the head, and you're not supposed to slam, but we were. I mean, obviously.
So you
I
didn't
was
follow the
slam.
rules at all.
No, we didn't even come close to following the rules. I don't even know why they were there. It was a waste of rules, Like sometimes we followed the rules. Like one of us might have our head down and we were like, okay, never mind, And then a few seconds later we were like, oh, you hit me in the face. Pop, pop, pop. We were uppercutting each other right in the chin.
And the ref didn't do anything.
No, nothing at all. Didn't stop us. Didn't say like, hey guys, calm down. Nothing. Just go for it. Kill each other if you want to. I'm surprised he wasn't like letting us get on the top rope or top of the cage and jump off and kick each other. Like he didn't care.
This is last weekend, and now you're fighting an Epic 61.
Well, I asked my coach. I was like, well, what do you want me to do? This guy wants to fight in a couple weeks. And he's like, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm fine.
This is the guy you were originally supposed to fight.
Yeah. Who I believe is 45. I think he's also 45.
Okay.
So that I'm happy about.
At least in the same decade.
Sure, two grandpas going at it. This is going to be way better for me, than me trying to like keep up with a 19-year-old. I learned that's probably not possible.
But you made it how many rounds? The whole fight?
No, I made it to the end of the second round. In the second round, he's like punching me in the ribs, and he's very heavy.
Yeah.
I had to go up in weight also. That was another thing. So
It just gets worse and worse, bro.
There's no part of this story that's like
That was
on my
in your
side.
favor at all.
None. Yeah, it's all against me. Like the Harvey.
You went up
smacked
in
me.
weight.
Yeah, up in weight, down.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
That anybody goes up in weight. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
26 years down in age and 15 pounds up.
Yeah, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm here. We're gonna do this, and I don't care who you put in there. We're gonna, I don't like to say no. It was just something that I'm gonna let go of after that, But it was like, you want to fight me? Okay, I will fight you, and that has always been like my attitude. But it's an old attitude from a long time ago that
you can't break it.
Me any well,
It doesn't serve you well.
Yeah, that guy proved it. He was like, oh, by the way, this old rule you have, you might want to get rid of it. He pretty much whispered that in my ear. He's like, you shouldn't be here.
Remember that old mentality you had that you're still hanging on to? I think you need to shake it, bro. I think we need more self-awareness at this point.
He's like, they sent me to tell you, you need to knock this shit off.
That's why I'm here, actually.
Yeah, right.
That's why I'm here. I was sent by God to just give you a little clue.
He told you to tell you this.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Are you listening?
This is great. All right, so talk to me about this fight. Who do you know the name of the guy you're fighting? Well, yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I know.
Who is it?
The name Tizok.
Tizok.
Or Uribe or something like that.
Okay. Have I interviewed him before? He's here today. He's coming today. Okay, cool. Oh, this will be good. Oh gosh. Okay, and you verified that he's in his 40s?
I know he's at least in his 40s. He had to do his 40-year-old physical.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I looked him up online. Like he's like secretive, so it looked like he's 45.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
if I have the right Tizlock.
Okay.
So that makes me feel better because I'm the baddest 45-year-old. And yeah. And you're not 19, so I feel really good about that.
So you got that going for you.
Yeah.
What age did you start fighting?
Oh man, well, I mean, I started doing karate competitions young, probably like 9.
9.
Yeah.
Straight karate?
Just karate, yeah.
That's what your first thing you got into?
Yes, karate.
Yeah.
Ishinru, it's not even around anymore.
What got you into karate?
useless. I just always loved it. I was always attracted to,
What attracted you? What? Because you're 45. You were watching probably Van Damme movies.
Oh yeah, Van Damme movies.
I just got my son who's 9. Funny you mentioned that. He's in Taekwondo. He's going for his black belt. So I started him on because Van Damme movies got a little sex going on. So I had to wait to get him here. But I literally last weekend started having him watch Van Damme movies. Bro, he's obsessed. Bloodsport.
Yeah,
remember Bloodsport?
That's a great movie.
I came home from school the other day, queued it up again. I'm like, this is my guy right here. Anyway,
that's just like me. Anything or they were kicking. Even like Big Trouble in Little China. They were like spinning around doing spinny stuff, and I was like in the living room doing spinny stuff. You
loved it.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing.
So would you say would the movies get you into it? Like, what got you into karate right out the gate?
Probably that and like kids kicking the living crap out of me.
Oh, really?
I was in the military, or my parents were in the military, and you're always moving around.
Yeah.
You always got to like let that first guy know. It's like prison, It's like, okay, I'm not going to put up with your stuff. Oh, there's the bully. Here he comes.
So every time you'd switch school, and as a kid, every time you switched school, you were the target. Pretty much.
Everybody was. Yeah, there's always that one bully, and my method of dealing with that was, okay, I'll just fight you, and we'll just get this over with, and then I won't have any more bullying, and we'll be best friends. And that's kind of what I learned. All my friends from middle school were all kids that like we just scrapped for 15, 20 minutes, and we got up, we hugged, and we were like, "Damn, dude, you're pretty cool." And it was like, it was a way of bonding, It was like I knew it was coming.
You knew it was every time you went to a new school.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna wait for it. I was just like, oh, there he is. That's
Where's the
guy.
bully?
Yeah. Oh, there you are. Let's just do this and we'll be best friends. That's how I made friends.
Oh my gosh! So then you got into karate. Then you were doing. When were you doing actual karate competitions?
Like right away.
Right away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of point systems, right?
Yeah, they're point systems. There's so much padding.
Yeah.
You're 9. You don't feel anything.
You can't feel anything.
Yeah. Nobody really knows what they're doing. So
yeah. So where to go from there? Like when did you start going? Okay, I'm liking this wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatever.
I didn't know anything about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I thought wrestling was what you see on WWE.
Yeah.
I wish I knew that wrestling was like the most important thing, but I didn't.
Right.
And so I liked spinny stuff. So I was kind of when I was 19, I was like, I'm gonna do taekwondo.
Yeah.
Because that looks cool.
Yep.
And so I did taekwondo. I got my black belt at 23 in taekwondo.
Nice.
And it was fighting nonstop competitions
Wow.
every weekend. And that stuff's full contact. That's a lot of head injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm surprised I can still form sentences sometimes because I took
you took some shots.
Yeah, broke
kicks.
my jaw, broke my nose.
Really?
Yeah, like I was really fighting, and
because you still wore headgear, but you get kicked in the face, the jaw.
The headgear, I don't even understand what's the point in it because it's in all the places where
you're not even going to get hit.
You're not only going to get hit, if you get hit there, like who cares? It's like
like over here.
Yeah, like why do I have padding right here? Like that would probably hurt their foot. Instead, I need padding like here.
Yes.
But no, you don't have it there. So
you said a broken jaw.
Broken jaw. Yep, broke my jaw in half, and finished that fight too. So
what age was that?
God, I was 24.
Wow.
Yeah, I made the arm.
Did you know it was broken as soon as it got hit?
Oh yeah, I knew something was wrong. My tooth, I could feel it like flopping around.
Oh.
I was like, oh, this is bad. And the ref's like, you look really bad. You sure you want to continue? And I was like, yeah, I want to continue because I'm this stupid attitude that I still have now, and and you can't teach me. I won't learn.
I won't learn.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to learn till even when I'm 45.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight a 19-year-old. Anyway, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to come on a podcast, talk about it, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow. So. Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, all right. So Taekwondo. When did you start getting into any grappling, or did you?
So I still thought grappling was just like silly. I'm going to kick you, and I'd have grapplers. We would, mess around, tussle around. They couldn't touch me because my Taekwondo was pretty good at the time.
Yeah.
I could keep you at a distance.
Right.
until Army Combatives, and then I get this purple belt, and he just mauls me, absolutely destroys me, and I go, oh, what is this? You know,
What age was that?
That was 25.
When did you go in the military?
I joined the military at 19.
You did?
Yeah. On my 19th birthday, I was in basic training.
Gotcha. Okay, so 19. So then when you're in the military, what do you say, Army Combatives?
Army Combatives, yeah.
What's that?
So, it's basically like the Marine Corps
Recon?
No, they're the Marine Corps martial arts program.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the Army's version, but theirs is better. All the military knows that the Army has the best martial art program. They actually do real jiu-jitsu. They give you a real basic fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. And so I go through that program, and I'm like, oh wow, jiu-jitsu is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna kick you and keep you off of me. You know, and so I'm a big dummy, and I'm learning just how to keep people off of me, and instead of like learning how to grapple with them, you know. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool though. And then I went ahead and did a couple of grappling tournaments after doing the combatives program. And
when was the first guy? Was it in that one, the grappling tournament?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know that they're grappling tournaments. You go up. So what I mean by go up, you go up in like levels. So you first you're like fighting in the uniform, or you're grappling in the uniform. No, in your uniform.
Oh, your uniform?
Yeah, your uniform. Yeah. So
I thought you were like, okay, the gi, not the gi.
That's the gi. You can grab it, you can do whatever, but you got
your Army uniform.
Your Army uniform. That's what you're going in. And then if you make it through that a couple rounds, then and you start weeding people out, then you can kick and slap, and you take the top off. I mean, this was the rules 20 years ago. It might be different now, so you know, I'm sure they've changed it. And then after that, if you win that, you go into a cage and you go fight with some dude for 2 minutes, and it's just full on MMA. They don't wrap your hands or anything. They just go ahead and stick the gloves on. So
they don't even wrap the hands.
They don't even wrap the hands. Yeah. So
back then,
yeah. You know, 25 years.
Did you make it to the cage?
I made it to the cage and get just absolutely demolished by this purple belt, and I'm like, oh, you know real jiu-jitsu. Oh, you actually know something. And then I'm like obsessed with jiu-jitsu after that.
From that point?
From that point on, yeah.
All right, so hold on. What happened? Like, when did you realize that this is you're in over your head?
Oh, the second he grabbed me. From like second one, it was like, oh, wait a minute.
You couldn't do anything?
You couldn't do anything. You know, I was like, he caught my kick, and it was
He caught your kick?
He caught it, and like, I mean, I don't know what he caught it with, his teeth or what, but he just, he knew.
Because your kicks are solid.
Yeah, and he knew that was the plan from minute one. He saw me kicking people.
Yeah.
You know, in the previous rounds, and he just.
Were you knocking people out in the fights?
I was kicking them in the chest, and they were like hurling over, and then I was able to just know, get on top of them or just kick them, or you know, I didn't knock anybody out that way.
Yeah.
But,
so he knew, he saw you. Yeah, he knew he's going to catch that kick.
Yeah, he knew what he was going to do, and that was it. And
he caught the kick, and then what? Next thing you know, where were you, on the ground?
Oh, I was on the ground. Yeah, he was like on my back, and then he was like on my chest, and then on my back again, and he was like on my legs.
Was he striking you too? Was he allowed to strike at that point?
He didn't even bother.
He didn't bother.
He didn't have to. It was like a grizzly bear. You know how they like play with their food? They're like, I'll eat a little piece here, eat a little piece there. You know, that's what it felt like. I felt like I was getting eaten by a grizzly bear. You know, and the guy was smaller than me too.
He was smaller than you.
Yeah. Like, you know, he's like this like nerdy looking thin dude. You know, but he's not. He's this purple belt monster that they need to put on a leash, who will just eat you alive, and it wasn't cool. And I was like, all right, I needed that lesson. So
after the fight, did you make friends? Were you like, bro, like, were you?
No, I sat there in the corner just contemplating like, what is going on in life? I know nothing. I questioned everything in the universe at that time. I didn't have time to even figure out like, what is this guy? I knew that he was good at jiu-jitsu, and that was all I needed to know right there. You know, I had to rethink my entire life. So, yeah, I was contemplating so many things.
So many things.
Yeah, I really was just like, okay, I know nothing. You know everything. I know nothing. And I want to be you. You don't want to be me. You know? I'm bad. You're good. You're like, you know, the comparison was just horrible.
The comparison is. I'm contemplating my whole life right now.
Everything. Yeah. Everything.
I don't
Every
want.
choice I've made nothing.
I want to be you. You don't want to be me.
Every choice I ever made to this point was wrong.
Oh my gosh! Every choice in my life, I'm like, well, did you make friends? Like, no, I was sitting in the corner sulking. Just
I was trying to not cry, basically. Yeah. Just like, why am I so stupid?
why am I this bad?
Yeah.
Here I am thinking I'm the man for 10 years kicking people, and now I'm literally nothing.
I'm nothing at all. I have nothing. I know nothing. I am nothing. I was just so down on myself, like I'd never been ever.
So how long did it take you to snap back out of that, dude?
Oh, immediately I was like, oh, let me go find jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that was it.
But there wasn't any around. There just wasn't around. It was just Korea, so there was only combatives.
This is in Korea.
Yeah, this is in Korea. So, and taekwondo's everywhere, and I stopped that immediately. Immediately. I went and did judo, and I was like, okay, well, that's not the same,
You stopped taekwondo.
Totally stopped it. I was like,
this is going nowhere.
Throw a kick for like another 10 years.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
no, come on.
I'm dead serious. Yeah, and I would go into studios and people would want to mess around, but my taekwondo was so good it took them a few seconds and they're like, all right, we're not doing that. Let's go back to judo.
Yeah,
where they can kill me.
Where they can kill me. So, you didn't throw a kick for like 10 years.
No, I didn't. I was like, I'm not. That's embarrassing. I'm not touching that. I want nothing to do with it.
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic, bro. This is the best fighter interview that we've ever had, dude. This is hilarious. I freaking love this.
Well, I'm glad my poor choices are hilarious.
Yes,
so, yeah.
your demise is just so great. Your self-reflection and ultimate self-awareness at this point is just the best fodder we've ever had on the show. Okay, so from there you dug into jiu-jitsu. So how far did you? I can't get over this. Didn't throw a kick for 10 years. So jiu-jitsu, how did you dive deep? How far did you go?
Well, again, I couldn't find any, so I made a combatives program for my battalion because we didn't have one, and I just started rolling with people there. This is a bunch of white belts who don't know what they're doing. There's like one college wrestler. He's showing us things. We're not really getting very far. And then we deployed to Iraq, and then we're like back, and we're deploying, and it's like, okay, I'm not making a whole lot of progress here.
Yeah.
And then I start trying to get back into it and find schools, but they're gi schools, and I can't really. I don't know. I never really connected to gi because it just seems so unrealistic. It's like, wait, you want? So I wrap my gi around your wrist, and then I make him do this, and then I wrap that part around his neck, and I'm like, wait, what if he doesn't wear a gi? And then the whole class stops and looks at me like, oh, you're that jerk. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just asking. What if he doesn't wear a gi?
I'm just asking.
Yeah. So that wasn't working for me, and
so you're the jerk that's going to disrespect the art.
Yeah, it's not the art. It's like,
I know.
I can't do gi. I just can't do gi. And there's gi everywhere, and they're like, put your patch on your back, and I wouldn't do it because I was like, if you want the patch on the back, put the damn thing on there.
What's the patch for?
You go to a lot of gi schools, they like make you wear the patch on your back or whatever it is, whatever they're, it's like too many things, man. I'm an adult, I'm getting a master's degree right now. I don't have time for this shit. You want the patch on? Put this patch on.
I'm an adult.
Like, dude, I have a career, things going on.
I'm getting my master's. I don't need to be.
I'm in the middle of a divorce. Like, come on, man. I'm doing cool things here.
I'm doing cool things. I'm living life.
I'm doing adult things.
I'm doing adult things. I'm going through a divorce.
IRS, like, come on, man. Like, nobody has time for this shit,
What do you say? I owe the IRS.
That happens after divorces.
Oh, bro, tell me about it. I owe the IRS. I've never not owed the IRS. Well, here's a free tip for everybody. When you owe the IRS, go into a payment plan. Just call them and say, hey, gosh, I can't pay. Go into a payment plan. Then if you start a business, your write-offs in the future will outweigh then you end up getting the money back anyway. So kick the can down the road. There's a free epic tip on if you owe the IRS. Just call them up. Hey, man, I can't pay. Well, what can you afford? A couple $100 a month. Perfect. Cool. We'll put you in a payment plan. Kick the can down the road. Start another business that you have a ton of write-offs. Boom, bang, it's gone.
Dang, I like that. Wish I would have known that.
There you go.
Yeah, I only did RS that one time because of the divorce, but now I know if it ever happens again, which God, I hope it doesn't. And my wife's an angel, so.
Oh, you got a new wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Great,
are you live here in San Diego?
Yeah, I live in Santee right now.
Okay.
So.
All right. So so how far did you go with jiu-jitsu?
So yeah, swapping schools because of moves, because of deployments, and just can't get anywhere. I'm a white belt for like 15 years or something, and then I get my blue belt finally. And Coach Sloan is the person that I've been working with. He moves schools, so I move schools with him, and I just kind of follow him around. And now he's in Thailand, and I'm lost again. But I finally before he leaves, he gives me my brown belt, and I didn't really expect him to do that, but he did, and so now I'm a brown belt, and and to me that was like, oh, that's the moment you're legit.
Yeah.
So I cried my eyes out because I was like, oh my God, I'm legit. Here's this thing that I have never been able to master that has always been my weakness, and now I feel like it's my strength.
Yes.
And I was like, what do I do? Who am I now? Because that purple belt, what if I was to go back? Like my mind's spinning at this point, it's like, I know this thing now, now
my
what?
gosh.
And it's like, oh, well, you're legit. You are a brown belt, and then like people are confirming, I'm getting messages. You're a legit brown belt. I really see you that way. And I'm like, whoa, really? Like damn, I'm a real brown belt, like, holy crap, going in there like hunting down black belts, like, come on, oh shit, okay, I'm not a black belt yet,
So then how did it progress from there?
Well, I mean, that's where I'm at now.
So 45, how many cage matches have you been in?
Just that, well, technically 2.
Yeah.
But really this is the first sanctioned.
Yeah.
Technically 3. This is the first sanctioned one, and the first like real one where there's like 3 2-minute rounds, and people were watching, and I have to go to a commission and get my hands wrapped and all those things. This is the first real one.
And so then how did you find this organization, Epic?
Well, Harvey was going to put us on the Dan Henderson card, and then he said, well, we'll put you on Epic. I guess he just thought like I couldn't do it or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know who this 45-year-old is.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really has it in him. So once I did this pancration thing, I think he saw like, oh, okay, you actually can, hold your own against a kind of a 19-year-old. Yeah, kind of you can hold your own against him. And okay, so we'll put you on this Epic, and he sent me the contract. I tried to get on Epic for a while.
You have?
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, but they kept telling me you're too old. You're
really?
Too old. Yeah. So, and I finally told Harvey, I said, well, I'll fight Jason then. Like he's old, I'm old. Like if he thinks I'm too old, I'll fight im. Maybe that caught his attention. And he's like, all right, get this guy an ass whooping. Like
get this guy an ass whooping. That's how I got it with Epic, by the way. I interviewed Jason 2 or 3 years ago on my podcast. We knew of each other from social media. We never met. And his interview was great. And then he got in a pinch in one of the Epic fights about 4 fights ago, where his normal company that did his interviews something happened, right? They had a flood in their flood in their thing. So he called me in a pinch, and JD, we need somebody to do our interviews. Would you do them? That's how I became the interviewer of the Epic fights, because of Jason calling me. And then of course Harvey's like, dude, I want them doing the interviews from this point forward. We want them on. So, but anyway, so what's 45? Like, what's driving you right now? Like what's your main driving? Like, why are you hopping in a freaking cage at 45 years old? Like, what's your motivation? What's your why? Why do you keep doing this?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you, but there's a lot of reasons. I don't know what's the major one, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes back and forth. Right? It's all over the place. There's so many thoughts that I have. One that I think drives me the most is my son is always like, I'm gonna be the UFC champion one day. And
He says this.
He says it, yeah. And I'm like, well, I want to be in your corner, but I don't think I can if I haven't had some fights. If I don't know what that feels like, I'm not going to feel legit, and I'm going to be kind of useless to you. I want to know what good training looks like. I want to know what good fighting looks like. and I want to know what this feels like for you if you ever do decide to, you know. And then there's the other part of me that's like, well, I've always viewed myself as a martial artist. What kind of martial artist hasn't been into a fight?
Right, a cage.
You know? Yeah, like you're not a martial artist. You're just some hobbyist jiu-jitsu guy who knows how to kick sometimes, you know. Like, what is that?
Yeah,
I don't want to be that. You know, it's like, no, I'm a martial artist. So let's go fight. Let's go test this thing out. You know, you've been training forever. You know, let's go do it. So there's that piece too. And then I don't even know. There's something else there too that I don't know what it is, you know, that like really wants to do this. And even when I stepped in the cage last weekend, I had to hold back tears. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like tears of sadness or anything. It was just like, holy shit, all right, you know? And I just screamed to like make sure that I didn't cry. Like,
yeah.
You see me, if you ever watch the video, I like, ah! And that wasn't like to intimidate. That was like, hey, dude, stop this shit, you know, whatever's going on.
Yeah, I don't want to cry, so let me scream.
Yeah, so I just screamed, you know. And
Before the fight?
Yeah, like, as I'm like walking in the cage, you know, I'm like feeling teary eyed and stuff. And I'm like, what is, no.
No. Oh,
so
my.
that's what that is. And then, you know, I hear the announcer and she's like, man, he's really intense. And I was like, no, actually, I'm being kind of a,
I'm just trying not to cry.
Girl. Yeah.
Oh, this gets better and better. I'm glad we had a break so I could go longer with him, bro. Right? Ever. Like, because normally we're rapid fire 15 minutes. You and I have been going, what, 45 minutes now?
Shoot, has it been that long?
33.
Oh, okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
Because we had a break. There was another guy that was supposed to come in at 8, right? So this definitely happened for a reason because this has been phenomenal, dude. Okay, what was I getting at? This fight, the guy you said you're sure he's in his 40s.
He's in his 40s at least. I know that for sure. He had to get his 40-year-old physical. So
How old's your son?
my son's 9.
9, yeah, that's the same age as my son.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so did you start him in martial arts early? Did he want to? Did you force him? Tell me about that.
I don't think he knew. He was just kind of like, all right, yeah, I'll go wherever you're telling me to go.
Yeah.
And so we started him in jiu-jitsu.
So you started him in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Not karate?
No, not karate, not anything else. I was like, you need this stuff, man. You know, you don't want some purple belt, you know, making an absolute fool out of you, you know?
Yeah, taking your manhood like he did to me.
Right. Yeah, trying to blow a whistle, hoping someone comes and helps. You know, like, no, we're gonna learn right off the right way. So we started doing jiu-jitsu, and then
At what age?
At 4.
4. Okay. Yeah, I got my kid at 4 into Taekwondo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do Taekwondo with him. I'll
Oh, you
kick
do?
with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sloan will do boxing with him. So, you know, and he wrestles now. He goes to Granite
Your
Hills.
son?
Yeah, Granite Hills wrestling program.
Wow.
And he concentrates on wrestling, and he's a monster.
Really?
Dude. We were boxing the other day, and he punched me in the ribs, and I was like, ooh, that felt like a full-grown man. I'm going to have to be a lot more careful with this kid.
Good Lord. Unbelievable.
Yeah, when I take him to tournaments, he can't fight with when he was 8, he already couldn't fight with the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds. They already had him like the 11-year-old.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's huge. He's like up to my shoulder.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get him DNA tested, man. I'm a short guy. Oh, you know.
Let's see
that. I hope you're doing the right thing. You know.
Right. What gym are you training? Let's shout some people out. Shout out family, wifey, son, training partners. Let's shout them out.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, my son Milan. He's absolutely amazing. I'm super proud of him. You know, whatever he wants to do, I just want to be there for him.
Yeah.
And I don't care if he's UFC champion. I don't care if he never steps into a cage. You know, he's like the absolute catalyst of change in my life. Everything's for him. I hope I just get better and better as a person so I can be better for him.
Yep.
My other son, Nolan, he's 2, and he's just the cutest thing, and he just makes me it makes it hard to fight because, you know, it's like I want to be this like really nice guy to him, and I want to just sit there and cuddle with him and spend time with him. And, you know, the timing is so weird of all of these things, you know. And then my wife, who is an absolute angel, probably the only person in the world that could put up with me. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way anyone else could. And she just takes everything like a champ and has been the most amazing person in my life. My only family members are them. That's it. I don't have any other family members, and that's all the family I need.
What's her name?
Svetlana.
Svetlana.
Yeah, she's from Russia.
Oh, that's why it's Milan.
Yeah, Milan.
So what's with your?
I named Nolan. So
yeah, you got Nolan.
I got Nolan. Yeah, I got to name that one.
Yes,
I did something right.
Why don't you have family? Where's mom and dad? All that.
God, they were just not the kindest people.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what we'll do is we'll table this for the long form. Every once in a while, I'll meet a fighter that I want to go long form with.
Okay.
Because I want to dig into that and see how did this happen?
Yeah, that's a whole another journey.
That's a whole other journey of digging deep and peeling back layers and hurt and trauma.
Oh, absolutely.
Love bringing that
why
stuff
do you think
out.
I became a psychologist? It wasn't for other people. It was,
for me.
Yeah, I need to get over this thing.
All right, so you got the wifey, both sons, training partners or training
coach.
Yeah.
So Coach Sloan, climber, has been my coach for a long time.
Yep.
I'm very lucky to have him as a coach.
And what gym is that out of?
He's a coach at Legion.
Okay.
And he when he first got me as a student, I was like hunting him down. I was like, no, you got to teach me. I don't know jiu-jitsu, and these don't work, and these don't work for jiu-jitsu. Like, this doesn't work for jiu-jitsu. I need your help, and I'll do whatever. I'll pay you whatever. I don't care. Just help me. I don't know jiu-jitsu. And he was kind of like, I don't know about you. You know, you're old. You're not very good at jiu-jitsu. And I was like, that's why I'm coming to you. Yeah. And so finally he was like, if I can teach you jiu-jitsu, I can teach anybody.
Yeah.
And I think most people would have been like, wait, did you just call me stupid? But I was like, yes, I'm going to learn jiu-jitsu. So I got all excited. Yes. I started training with Sloan.
Meanwhile, I was like a smack in the face.
Yeah.
If I can teach you, I can teach anybody. Yay.
But no, he's great. He always has been great. And even then, I'm kind of making a light of it.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
So he took me in and started teaching me. And people say, hey, you roll like a mini Sloan, and he's probably one of the top 5 grapplers in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he is.
Yeah, he's huge.
Brutal.
Yeah.
And so when I hear that, I look at it as a huge compliment. To go from like this guy who has struggled with grappling his whole life to being something when I roll with people, they're like, you're like a mini Sloan. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yes,
so
incredible.
Sloan, I owe him so much. I mean, he teaches me boxing too, and he's a phenomenal boxing coach. He just won the Bangalore Muay Thai championship in Thailand.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's got the belt.
Come on,
dude. I know, right? How many things can you go win? Can you knock this off?
Yeah, leave some for the rest of us.
Yeah, right. We're gonna give some scraps or something. He's unstoppable.
Incredible.
He's winning everything. So I'm lucky to have him as a coach, and I really feel fortunate about that, and can't thank him enough. And then he's been gone in Thailand, and right around the time I'm fighting, so I've been working with Coach Jamin Jackson, and he was a Green Beret.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was a Green Beret. And he's an incredible fighter, and he's super tough, and he's been working on my MMA with me for the last couple of months.
Beautiful.
And so it's been really nice having him around while Sloan's gone, and that's been kind of my thing. And then Miha, he's been working with me too over at Legion.
Yep.
So I got a pretty solid, scary team.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they're really scary to work with because they're really good,
Yeah.
And I don't think they know how hard they hit or like how good they are at grappling sometimes. And I'm like, guys, I'm 45. I think you're forgetting,
Yeah.
Let's tone it down. But they're in the moment,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I want you to be in the moment, just not on me,
Not on me.
So, but yeah, it's really nice having them, and I'm super appreciative of all that they've done.
Yep.
Because they didn't have to. I'm 45.
I know.
Why even?
You're
care?
washed up.
Yeah.
You're done.
Absolutely.
You're on the tail end of life.
Totally. Yeah. Going at any minute.
Going any minute. Shout out. Do you remember the purple belt's name that made you question life?
No, I never wanted to see that guy again in my life. I at that moment in time, I didn't want to look at him. I couldn't look at him. I couldn't even tell you what his face looks like now.
Couldn't even tell you.
No, I erased him from my memory, from my entire existence. I wanted nothing to do. I was so mad at him. He embarrassed me so bad. I literally couldn't even tell you like what color he is. You know?
What color he is?
Yeah, I don't know what ethnicity he is. I have no idea. He could be fucking purple for all I know.
You have no idea.
No idea. Yeah, I've erased him from my memory. He hurt me that bad.
He hurt me that bad.
Yes.
Not physically, but just emotionally.
Here.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. Right.
I still feel it sometimes.
Right here. But in essence, bro, he's the one who changed your life more than anybody.
He really
is.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, it totally is.
Totally. He was the one that said, that's it. You drew the line and said, I'm going jiu-jitsu. You didn't kick anybody for 10 years.
He did me a favor.
He did me a favor.
He really did. Yeah. He knew what he was doing. I kind of feel like he knew that, you know. He's like, this guy doesn't know shit. I'm gonna help him out.
I'm gonna ruin this guy's entire life, but then I'm also gonna change this guy's life in one shot.
Let's not turn him into a saint.
Let's not turn him into.
I'm still kind of mad at him.
Yeah, this is fantastic, bro. Prediction for the fight. Give me some. What's the game plan? What's the prediction? How you feeling about it?
I feel real good. I'm the baddest 45-year-old, and I'm going to show him, and I'm going to come at him, and I am going to bring it, and he is going to feel it, and I am going to finish him.
All right, here we go, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Evil, Alan Acre, a.k.a. Dr. Evil. Don't get it twisted that he's this fun, funny, joking guy. He is an absolute animal. He's absolutely, his name, Dr. Evil, is not by accident. He's ready to go. He's the best 45-year-old fighter right now in existence. Let's go. Real Deal Talk, Epic 61, Friday, May 23rd. Come watch Dr. Evil throw down for the older men out there. Come watch him represent. Take it because Andy, you're what, 40? 46? 46.
You're going to be on the next card then.
Oh, jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Dr. Evil, it's been an honor, been a pleasure, bro. This was phenomenal. One of my favorite fighter interview yet. Fantastic. That's it. Real Deal Talk. That's a wrap.